This Formula 1600 action is proudly brought to you by Investchem Chemical Logistics. A massive crowd expected here at the Festival of Motoring. And over the 2 days of racing, it's going to be great to have the Investchem Formula 1600s as part of all the action here at Festival of Motoring. Taking place at the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit, there's aerial material, there's stuff to do for everybody, young and old. And great to see such a big crowd coming out here to be entertained. Cars on track, activities all around the circuit. It's now time to head down into the pits and get ready for our first race in the Formula 1600s. It's round 7 of their championship and they've still got lots of action to do. And looks like there's going to be some action here out on the black stuff. And they usually get very much up close and personal. Great to see Donnie Lamola back at the circuit recovering after her stroke, and she'll be doing a parade lap later on in the day. We got up close and personal with Ian Schofield to find out how 2018's gone.
Really made a big difference putting the wings on the car, putting new gearboxes in the car. We've now got a sequential 5-speed from Hewland, which is from overseas. Fantastic gearbox, doesn't break like the old ones did. The cars with the updates and upgrades we put on them look really modern. And yeah, we've got a lot of young people come in from karting. I think they now realise this is the place to go. If you're going to drive a single-seater, if you want to get on in motorsport, whether you want to go to saloon cars afterwards, or sports cars, or single-seaters overseas, this series is the learning ground to learn. Mind you, I'm at my age, I'm still learning.
So Ian, you must be very pleased to be at Festival of Motoring here at Kyalami.
Absolutely. I got together with Dennis Klopper earlier this year. We discussed the possibility of coming here, and we got invited, and we were very happy to take it up. And I think it's great to be here this weekend. It's a great experience for all our drivers to be at Kyalami.
We've got Laren standing by down in our studio to take us through Donnie Lamola's parade lap.
Nice to see her in her racing overall. She lost the use of her leg, her hand, her speech. Wasn't able to speak at all. And with intensive therapy and the love and commitment of her family and her friends, she's slowly been working on regaining the use of her leg, the use of her hand. But not only is Donnie on track, Ian Schofield and Tiago Robello are in 2 other different looking single-seater cars. And the first one is the amazing 1977 March.
Join us after the break for Race 1 action from Formula 1600. Welcome back to Formula 1600 action here from Kyalami and the Festival of Motoring. There's only 1 point in the championship, and it's Stuart White that leads out at the moment, but he's got Nick Van Wheelie hunting him down.
We are a point behind, so we're going to have a lot of work to do this weekend. We've had a bit of a poor qualifying, so we're down in 8th. So it means a lot of work to come up from there. But I'm sure that we went a bit wrong in qualifying, so I know we can fix it for the race, and I'm sure we'll be able to get it right up to the front.
It's going to be a big battle up front as well with Stuart White. Look out for Alex Gillespie and Scott Temple. Let's find out how Stewie's feeling.
Yeah, only a few points ahead with drops. We're only 4 points ahead of Nicholas. So it's a bit of crunch time of only 2 rounds after Kyalami. So Swartkops and first Cape Town and Swartkops the final round. So still a few races to go. Just try and take it 1 race at a time and see how it goes. So far so good for this weekend. So we'll see how it goes now in the race.
So as they come to line up, let's have a look at the grid. Stuart White on the front there with Scott Temple, Tiago Robello, one of his best qualifyings, and David Jeremy in 4th. Schofield, Gillespie, and then Ian Schofield down into 9th place. A super run there. We're looking at Sia Monkonkwana with Jared Caldenas alongside him. Then down in 15th place, not out on track. And the reason for that is this is what happened to Jeff Gable in qualifying this morning. He headed down and unfortunately just lost all brakes, slamming into the wall and completely out of the race weekend. We hope he gets a speedy recovery and we'll see him down in Cape Town. Problems on the grid though, Monkonkwana being pushed off. That's not the way you want to be starting things, that's for sure. We go on board here with Ian Schofield as we're about to go racing. Off the start line, a good start there from Schofield. He'll pulls alongside, tucks in behind David Jeremy, but it's Andrew Schofield that comes across his nose. Then you see around the outside, Nicholas Van Wheelie didn't quite get the start he wanted in terms of qualifying or the start here in race number 1. But down into turn 1, what a start there from Tiago Robello. He goes around the outside of David Jeremy, and the two of them are side by side, tucked in behind Stuart White. A little bit of issues there, a little bit further back. You can see one of the cars running wide, but now coming through up into the top end of the circuit for the first time. Scott Temple going around the high side and finding a way to 3rd place ahead of Jeremy. Jeremy's down to 4th. Van Wheelie is 5th. He's got lots of work to do if he wants to stay in touch with his championship. It's Alex Gillespie behind him, and those guys go flying. Someone's lost some part of the body there. You can see bits and pieces of the car going flying through as they went into sunset. This is Rebello's point of view. Oh, a little touch there between Tiago Rebello, and that's moved him wide, allowing Jeremy to come through, and Scott Temple. Scott Temple was the man who bumped him as they came out of clubhouse. He hangs on into the S's now, keeping out Van Wheelie's attack. Van Wheelie looking very dangerous. I think it's Van Wheelie's wing that went missing. Yes, look at that on the left-hand side. He's got no front wing. It's going to affect his ability in this car. The Wings and Slicks formula has been exceptionally good, but if you lose one of those wings, it definitely affects the ability of the car to turn and to go in a straight line. Let's see whether or not he can drive through that. He's got Gillespie on his tail, and we go on board with Alex now as they head down into the sweep off the mine shaft. Let's see if the ability of the car is affected. Not too bad through the left-handers. It's going to be in the right-handers that he's going to feel it. And let's see if Gillespie can realize that as he comes up. Oh no, Gillespie's run wide on his own. Gillespie goes into Crocodiles a little bit wide, tries to catch it and gets ahead. Fortunately, the two cars behind him are too far back to do anything about that. It is the two cars, of course, of Rackstraw and Ian Schofield. Schofield now under a bit of threat there. Oh, and Schofield's out of shape. No, it's not. It's Rackstraw. Rackstraw completely out of shape in the background as we see a move there from Jeremy. Jeremy just squeezing out Rebello. But in the background is Rackstraw, who's completely sideways, coming out of Cheetah. They go through Ingwe now. Look at Stuart White. He's disappeared. They're going to be tough ask to try and find the pace that he's got here. Scott Temple's going to try and do it in that road to race car, but the fantastic racing man leading things out at the moment. And Gillespie now eventually dives through and gets ahead of Van Wheelie. We're on board with Van Wheelie. And another touch. Oh, that was exceptionally close. Two Avon tyres coming very, very close, and a little nudge between the two of them as they get up towards Yuxke. It's a super battle there for 3rd, 4th and 5th place at the moment. And it looks like David Jeremy is just pulling ever so slightly away. But Gillespie's coming along for the ride, and Gillespie looks like he might be one of the most dangerous men out there. He's slowly but surely putting in the lap times that are going to get him to the front end. Van Wheelie's trying to stay with him to go with him all the way to the front if he can. You can see that it's not going to be given up that easily there from Nicholas Van Wheelie. He knows with only 1 point in it, he's got to try and stay in that top 5 to ensure that he does damage limitation. Right now, he is falling by the wayside. He's falling into the clutches of Schofield. As they head up towards the top end of the hill, this is Leo Koop. And a problem there for the 19 car, Geldenhuis. Geldenhuis is spun out. He's in a bit of a precarious position, so we'll have to wait and see whether the COC needs to bring out the safety car. Schofield's not worried about that right now. He's looking good as they come out of Leo Koop, heading onto the mine shaft. Everything she's got now. 6th gear down the hill and into the sweep. There's a good and a late move coming out of Rebello. Rebello dives on the inside of Jeremy. Jeremy gives him a little bit of room. In fact, a little bit more room as he has to take. Oh, he's not happy about that. Jeremy gives him a little bit of a handshake there. That's not right, but it was a good move there. Rebello made it stick. Can Jeremy come back at him? Look at how Van Wheelie's having to fend off the attack coming from the back. He's got no answer. Look at that, Gerald Wright diving through there in the second of the fantastic racing cars, and he gets through. And you can see just how difficult it's being there for Van Wheelie. He's dropping by the wayside again. That's 2 cars that have got past him. So Van Wheelie's in trouble here. David Jeremy trying to return the favour on Rebello. Does it perfectly down into Crowthorne. Around the outside, the two of them run wide, and look at that, Gillespie capitalising. Absolutely perfectly done by Alex Gillespie. Watching the two guys go at it ahead of him. He knew they were going to run wide, and there's so much space in Crowthorne corner that he can use that inside line and get through, and now he's going to hunt down Scott Temple. The lap times at the moment, Gillespie one of the fastest cars on track, so he's got a chance still to close in on that road to race car of Temple's. Looks like there's going to be a move here as well. Look at the way Gerald Wright is starting to come through this field pretty rapidly there in the 3rd of the fantastic racing cars now. Side by side with Schofield and Rebello. Rebello just hanging onto the inside line through clubhouse. So Schofield's going to have to try on the inside for the S's. There's a look. It's not close enough though. On board here. And he's looking good. Right on the tailpiece of Tiago Rebello. Jeremy just ahead of them, and the 3 of them absolutely pin perfect going through there in terms of their lines. There's a move from Schofield, late on the brakes, up into Leo Koop. Is he close enough? Tiago Rebello shuts the door, doesn't line through. Yeah, comes Wright. Wright's in there as well. So we've got fantastic racing cars at the front and 4th in this pack. And then just behind them, you can see all of a sudden Rackstraw coming to play. Andy Rackstraw was feeling good about the weekend. He'd had a great qualifying, so he certainly wants to get up there and fight it out. He's had to come through the field rapidly, and he's right there now, in with a chance of a top 3. He's just got to find his way through these 4 cars in front of him. That's not going to be easy to do as they go through Cheetah. Line astern, no changes there, but here we go. Ooh, a little wide there from Rebello. Similar line coming out of right. To the last turn, they start another lap. Brilliant racing here. Unfortunately, we're not seeing much of Stuart White. He's disappeared at the front end, and Scott Temple has done the same thing. The two of them getting away to the tune of about 7 or 8 seconds now, ahead of Gillespie, who hangs on for third. Onto the brakes, down into Crowthorne again. Schofield's not close enough. Rebello hangs on for now. He's going to try and keep him out for the rest of this race. Gerald Wright doing a good job of defending onto the back end. And you can see that Rackstraw is going left and right, trying to find a way past. Can't find it just yet. Very evenly matched cars here with these 5. Right, the third of the fantastic racing cars, and all of a sudden that race driver SA car is coming into play. Rackstraw means business. Ian Schofield's dropped back. Just behind him looks like it's LT. That's Alan Mayer, and then Brendan Tracy coming from the rear end as well. Gerald Caldenace has recovered. He's got back on track, but he's a long, long way down after spinning out. We'll get going now. Look at Rackstraw applying the pressure onto the back end, right as they go through Clubhouse. Heading up towards the S's. He's got to try and get the drive through the S's and have a go at the top end at Leeuwkop. Triple apex corner at the top there makes it very, very difficult to try and get it right. But if you do get the braking right, it is a good place to make an overtaking maneuver. There you see under braking. Rebello goes defensive, keep out Schofield. Schofield went on the attack. Didn't quite make it stick, but he's definitely hunting and looking for a way past. Different line there from Schofield as well. Slightly tighter apex there on the third part. Doesn't quite get the same amount of drive though. As you can see, the wider line from Tiago Rebello allows him to close in now on Jeremy. And he's having a go. He looks on the inside. He's got that inside line. Jeremy didn't see him coming. Can he hold it though? Jeremy comes back at him. Oh, Rebello had a big look there. It almost worked out. That's a slightly different line to any other Formula 1600 driver here. And it looks like the youngster is finding some lines that are not normally there. Rackstraw sideways again. Rackstraw on the inside. Around the outside comes Rebello. Can he drive around the outside of David Jeremy? That'll be impressive. He's now going to go fighting against Schofield. Schofield's got through on him. That's because Rebello ran wide. So Tiago's going to try and make another plan here if he can. Just that little maneuver on the right-hand side and onto the dirty stuff. And he just lost the traction and the drive, allowing Andrew Schofield to dive through. Here comes Schofield on the inside of David Jeremy. David Jeremy goes defensive, slices off his nose, won't let him through. Rebello straight back at them. Behind there, Rackstraw trying to go on the inside through Barbecue. Can he make it? He might be able to get through there. No. Gerald Wright saw him coming. Just managed to maintain his line. Didn't allow Rackstraw any room to play. So Rackstraw now comes onto that back straightaway. These two youngsters out of RDSA doing a great job fighting with the fantastic racing boys and the Investchem car there of Schofield. Big move there from Wright. That would have taken some huge cojones to make it through Sunset Corner on the inside line. He runs wide, comes into Clubhouse. Not close enough to make an outbraking though. And Rebello keeps him honest. How much longer can that pressure be soaked up there from Tiago Rebello? We've got about 2 laps to go now as they go down into the S's again. This is fantastic stuff here from these guys. They really are putting on a good show, and this is exactly why Formula 1600 wanted to be at the Festival of Motoring. One of the biggest crowds you'll ever get to race in front of, and they're definitely putting on a super, super show. Lots of interest in this formula down in the pits as well. Lots of interest in this man as he disappears at the front end. Stuart White doing everything right. Absolutely perfectly done, ahead of Scott Temple and Alex Gillespie. The three of them getting away and leaving this pack to fight it out. David Jeremy going to hang on, or is he? Here comes Rackstraw. Late move. Oh, Wright runs wide. Wright getting it all wrong, unfortunately, through Crocodile. And that's exactly what Rackstraw wanted. Ian Schofield comes out of Crocodiles now. He's looking a little bit up the road. You can see that battle heading into Cheetah. Schofield looking very good here to probably take on the seniors title as they come down on the braking markers. Stuart White and Scott Temple. Long gone. So is Gillespie. Wait for that 4th place battle. Here it comes. It's David Jeremy at the moment. They're on to their final lap. And now looking for a chance. Here comes Schofield. Schofield dives on the inside. He's late on the brakes into Crowthorne. Can he make it stick? Oh, he locks it up. Looks like Jeremy might have run a little bit wide. This is going to be a chance here for Tiago Rebello. Rebello, if he's clever, will wait for something to go wrong between these two in front of him. Jeremy side by side as they came out, but then went line astern. Schofield now under attack from Rebello. Rebello, putting a nose right on the inside. That could be very costly. We saw that happen earlier on, in fact, in lap 1 with Nick Van Wheelie, and you can see what it's cost for Van Wheelie. He's had to pull back in the pit lane and out of this race. There they go, onto the final part. David Jeremy, the man with the biggest threat at the moment. Can he keep it all together? He runs wide. Jeremy's gone wide. Oh, man, Jeremy into the wall, into Clubhouse. Looks like that throttle might have stuck open there, and he's gone straight into the wall. He just couldn't brake at all. And the fantastic racing car in bits and pieces on the sideline. David Jeremy out of this one. What a pity. That's going to gift Schofield a chance here, unless Rebello's got something special in this last half of the lap. Heading up onto the breakers, up into Leokopsk. Looks like Andrew Rackstraw's coming along for the ride as well. So he wants part of this. It looks like they are going to be in for an epic one down to these last couple of corners. Lieutenant Colonel Alan Mayer retired. Here he comes, under braking. Closing in on Schofield, trying to make a late dive here. For Class B honours, of course, these are the slightly elderly statesmen fighting a little bit further back in the field. Rebello on the inside, he's got it. What a move from Tiago. He moves out his Investchem teammate and puts Schofield a little bit wider than we'd like. Stewie White into the last turn, heading for the checkered flag. Easily done for the fantastic racing man. Big pity we didn't have Cam O'Connor out there to give him a bit of a run as well. But here we go, under braking. Are we going to see any changes here? Yes, Gerald Wright's under attack. Rackstraw goes on the inside, comes back at him, tries to cut that late apex, and he runs wide on his own. That's costly. Rackstraw just getting it all wrong there, trying every line except the one that counted. Official results there of race number 1. It's Stuart White from Scott Temple and Alex Gillespie. They got away from the rest of the field, with Rebello winning out that battle for 4th. Let's catch up with David Jeremy and find out what went wrong.
Dave, Jeremy, you've been coming on stronger and stronger throughout the season. It looked like you were there this race 1.
Yeah, no, we've been doing really well lately, and I mean enjoying it. But this weekend we've had a bit of bad luck. My teammate's car, the brakes failed, and my car, just the accelerator cable jammed on into clubhouse. So game over for this one.
Welcome back to Race 2 action now from Formula 1600s here at the Festival of Motoring at Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit. Good to see Siyabonga Munkukwana back on track after some problems there in the first heat. Lights are out, we head down for Race 2 now. On board with Scott Temple, looking to try and stay with Rebello and with Stuart White. Look at him looking in the rearview mirrors though. He knows he's under attack from the back and he's going to have to watch out for Van Wheelie. Nicholas Van Wheelie here definitely wants to get to the front end and certainly has to make up lots of ground after not finishing in the first race of the weekend. It's White who leads things out with Rebello right on his tail. There's a move from Van Wheelie early on to get through on Temple. Behind that, they all just line up. Alex Gillespie in front ahead of Jeremy. Jeremy's car also sorted out. Good to see that. Overnight, they've had some chances to just play around, tinker, and get these cars ready to go now for race 2. Go through Sunset. Absolutely everything she's got there. And look at how they're fanning out in the background. Big maneuver there. And what a start there from Alan Mayer. A lot higher up than what he usually is. He's up ahead. He's ahead of Rackstraw and Schofield. So that's a very good start there from Alan Mayer. Let's see if we can keep it all together. Rebello keeping out Scott Temple for the moment as they head up towards Leokop, pulling a small margin there over Van Wheelie. Van Wheelie on the defensive, trying to keep Jeremy out as they get to the top end of the field. And then right behind them, Alex Gillespie, who's under attack. There you can see Rackstraw diving through on Alan Mayer, just behind this little shot that we've got. Rackstraw moves up, Alan Mayer down behind him. This is Alex Gillespie's point of view as they head down the mineshaft onto the back end of Jeremy. Jeremy looking still for a way through there on Van Wheelie. Van Wheelie looking to just try and close that gap down between Scott Temple and Rebello. He cannot afford for Stuart White to go any further up ahead in this championship. There's only 2 more rounds to go after this. One down in Cape Town, one at Swartkops. We know how good those 2 cars are and how close this championship has been. Oh, look at Scott Temple leaving black lines. Under braking, he gets up on the inside. It's a good drive there. Those black lines worked out for him. He dives through and gets ahead of Rebello. Tiago had no answer there to a former champion in the previous version of this category. The one without the wings and slicks. Further back, oh, Schofield's got some problems there. Ian Schofield, you can hear that thing not revving right at all as he gets down into the last turn. Down into turn 1 though, here comes the action. Gillespie getting through, or does he? No, Jeremy shuts the door, won't allow him through. We saw Jeremy run wide there last time, and I think Alex Gillespie's going to try and do a similar maneuver to what we saw in race number 1 there. If he can just force Jeremy wide, he can dive through on the inside. Jeremy will be wary of that. We saw that happen last time, and he knows that Gillespie's got the opportunity and the ability to do it as well. Rackstraw behind that, then Andy Schofield, then Siyabonga Munkukwana. Munkukwana with a much better run here. He's slowly but surely getting to grips with the wings and slicks of this formula. Coming from Formula V originally and then into the Kent category, now up into the full national championship. Heading down into the S's. On board with Van Wheelie. Looks looking good. Car looks good as well. So whatever the issues were that they had after that wing broke, they've sorted it out. Looks in the rearview mirror, just doesn't want Jeremy to come through. Jeremy is right there though, so is Gillespie. He's now got 2 cars to concern himself with. One ahead as well. He's got to try and attack. Oh, he makes a mistake. I think he might have missed a gear there. Not getting the right gear coming out, and it nearly cost him. David Jeremy wasn't ready to pounce. If Jeremy had been any closer, he might have got through there, and he's now going to try something down into Crocodiles. They go wide. Watch the cutback now from Jeremy and from Gillespie. Going to try and squeeze up the inside, but no, Van Weerde sees them coming. Just marks them and keeps them behind. Rackstraw under attack from Andy Schofield. The two Andrews going at it there. Big time. There's Jeremy having a wheel and just showing it once again to Van Weerde. Van Weerde's just going to be caught watching those wing mirrors. He's got to concentrate on trying to close down the gap that Thiago Rebelo is pulling at the front. 1, 2, and 3 getting away like they did in the first one. And everybody else tucked in behind and fighting for fourth. In fact, there's two battles there, one for fourth, as you can see, between those three cars, and just behind it's the two Andys. Schofield and Rackstraw. Rackstraw locks up, Schofield's on the inside, could possibly get through. Let's wait and see. Oh, look at Gillespie. He sees that Jeremy made that mistake, he's going to make him pay. Jeremy runs him wide, he comes back at him on the inside, just can't get up, there's not enough room there. He'd have to go over that Jeff Kruger line, that's over the red and white stripes on the inside there if he wants to make that move stick. Now into the back straight, heading towards Sunset. There is an ailing Ian Schofield. Definitely an issue on that car, and he's out of this one. That's a big pity to lose the boss man. On board Yavasia once again as they go through Clubhouse. Munkankwana has got... Ooh, Munkankwana getting out of shape there. You're going to have to correct that wheel. He might have just been attacked there by Brendan Tracy or Gerald Wright. I think there's a bit of pressure coming from the two of them on the back end of that red and white car. Get up onto the top braking markers into Leo Kopp. Once again, Van Weerde goes late. Jeremy tries to match him. Gillespie doing the same thing. Super battle there. Unfortunately, for fourth place. We'd expect this to be at the front end, and it has been all season long. There's been 6 or 7 battles in this championship where we had 4 or 5 cars fighting for the lead. Top 3, though, evenly spread. Fourth place is where it's at. In fact, make it for 5th place, because here comes Gillespie. Oh, he had a big dive. Couldn't quite get there. Jeremy just good enough on the brakes to keep him out. Behind her, Rackstraw still under attack. Schofield hasn't found a way past. And he's looking very dangerous. And look in the background. Sliding through there is Munkankwana. Sia is coming along and looks like he could be up for a bit of a challenge here with the two Andrews. If they're just able to close that gap, we're going to have a 6-way battle for 4th place. It's top class stuff with 1 to go. And with 1 to go, look at how things have changed up. Van Weerde now with Jeremy on his tail. Rackstraw going on the attack. Behind that, Siyabonga Munkankwana got ahead of Gillespie. Gillespie's lost out the most here in the closing stages. But it's not over yet. David Jeremy is in big trouble. He's got Rackstraw all over the back of him. On board here with Andy. This is a super shot as they go through Barbecue up towards XK. Now turning left. Getting the drive is important here. Andrew Rackstraw trying to stay there with David Jeremy. Is he close enough to have a go as they head into Sunset? We'll have to wait and see. Shuey White is gone. He's not even looking for Sunset. He's already at the top of the hill at Leeuwkop. The rest of this pack scream through. Rackstraw's not close enough. Just lost the drive there in the crucial point, and in fact it's allowed Gillespie a chance to close in on him. Gillespie still in with a shot of moving up, possibly into that top 5. Head down into the S's. Van Weerde hanging on. He needs this 4th place. He's not going to get 1st, 2nd or 3rd. I don't think there's going to be any issues at the front end with White, Temple or Arello. So 4th place is going to be the best he's going to have to do, and he's going to fend and defend for his life. Andrew Rackstraw doing the same thing there for 6th as he goes defensive into Leeuwkop to keep Gillespie at bay. Stuart White, last time into Ingwe corner. Checkered flag is waiting, and another fantastic day for the man from Fantastic Racing. A double win here on the weekend, and now takes the lead of the championship. Under braking, Rackstraw looks dangerous. Gillespie, oh, it's so close between the two of them. It's changed up ever so slightly. It looks like Gillespie managed to get through at the top of the hill on Rackstraw. Is Rackstraw going to try and come back at him? Let's wait and see as they go through Cheetah. Last turn now. This is the last effort you've got. Rackstraw runs wide. He's lost the drive. There's not going to be enough time to make that up. Gillespie's going to hang on. So late minute maneuver there from Alex Gillespie has moved him to 6th place. It's Van Weerde who comes through for 4th. Jeremy in 5 and 6th place. As I said, great drive from Alex Gillespie. Top 3 though, White, Temple and Rebelo. Nicholas Van Weerde's got some work to do down in Cape Town. And Laren's waiting down in the pit lane to catch up with our winners.
Stuart White, another fantastic weekend.
Fantastic weekend, 4 points, and we extended a championship lead. So fantastic weekend for us, and thank you to Fantastic Racing for all their hard work behind the scenes. Scott Sport, AMP, fitness faculty, everybody worked so hard behind the scenes to pull this weekend off. And special thanks to Mark and Ian and all the mechanics behind the scenes for all their work.
Top of Class B is Alan Mayer. He's very happy.
Yeah, I had a good dice, and yes, we've had some bad luck the last couple of races, you know yourself, with the start shafts and things, but everything held together. Thank you very much to Brian Kruger, Racing Factors, for sorting that out for me, and a good day. No, we've had a good day. It's been a fantastic day, yeah, to be part of this festival of motoring. Absolutely privileged to be here.
No doubt about it, a fantastic day's racing for the Fantastic Racing team as well, as they move comfortably ahead now, heading to Cape Town. Stuart White ahead of Van Wheelie. As I said, he's got some work to do, but great to have these guys at the Festival of Motoring. All this action from Formula 1600s is proudly brought to you by Investchem Chemical Logistics.